Right guys, welcome back to another pickups video. This one is for 5 games altogether. We have 1 original Xbox, 2 PlayStation 3, 1 360 and 1 PlayStation 1. But before I do, a couple of things to say. First of all, extra special welcome to any Man United fans. 6-1 the other week. What was all that about? That was a disaster. And also secondly, this made me laugh. We've got a drink here. I'll show you what it's called, slowly. Mike's Hard Pink. Mike's Hard Pink, what's coming next? Lemonade. Lemonade, you filthy-minded beast. What did you think it was? But anyway, it made me laugh because we were in the local grocery store the other day, just getting groceries, funnily enough, and we stopped by the beverages, I thought, yeah, I fancy a drink. Celebrate City's win, of course. Celebrate the Premiership title, which is obviously going to arrive, and the Champions League and the Derby and all the rest of it, Grand National. And I thought, let's get a drink. My wife was like, oh, I don't want you getting alcohol. Don't know why. But I said, no, I'm just going to get something really light. Now, these are essentially kind of fruit drinks. I just apologise if a big bloody beam of light is shining down. It's really sunny and I've shut the blinds, but part of it's still getting through. I digress. So, yeah, it's just essentially just, well, pink lemonade. It's all flavoured, you know, you get like lime flavour. What else did they have? Strawberry. You get the drill. So anyway, took all the groceries when we'd finished to the checkout, and straight away the girl puts it to one side. She only looked, I don't know, maybe 18, 19, 20, whatever. She looked young. And put all the stuff through, all the food that we were buying, and it got right to the end and she went, have you got any ID on you? And I went, ID? I went, no, I haven't. I said, well, I've got like a debit card, I've got a residence card, which is essentially kind of ID. And she went, oh, can I have a look at it? I'm like, what is this? You know, you've got to be, it's 18 in the UK, it's the telephone, it's the telephone. Posh voice. Hello? All right. Oh. All right, yeah, exactly, yeah. Okay. Right. Okay. Okay. Will do. Alright, see ya. Bye-bye. I'm so two-faced. What can I say? Completely lost track. Oh yeah, so I was buying this, and yeah, I was buying this, and what happened? Mine's gone blank. Oh yeah, got to the checkout, she put everything through, asked for my ID, and I said I don't have any other than like a residence card, but the residence card has my date of birth, and alien number, really nice phrase they give you, and all the rest of it, social security, and social security, what the hell is that, sausages? Social security, and she went, well, I'm not so sure we can accept this. Basically, I know she's never seen one before, you know, I know that for a fact, you know, she's only young, where would she have seen one of these before? No, it wouldn't have happened. So she went, I'm just going to show it to my, like, I don't know, colleague or something who was standing right next to her. I went, okay. Fair enough. Showed it to the colleague standing there, and they're like, I'm not really sure, I've not seen one of these, not sure we can accept it. And I'm like, it's got my date of birth and everything on there, what more do you want? But let me just get the manager. I thought, right, the manager's got to know. Manager comes out, there's a big queue of bloody people waiting to pay for their food and stuff. And manager comes out, and she was like, yeah, I'm not so sure we can accept this, actually. Have you got your passport on you? No, I haven't got my passport. Why would I? I'm buying food. Why would I bring my passport with me? I mean, I wasn't ranting and raving. It was more inwardly thinking, like, what an idiot. I said, well, you know, I haven't got my passport. I said, but that's got my date of birth. And she went, well, we can't really accept it. Need a passport. And I'm like, what? How many people go shopping with a passport? Ridiculous. So I turned around to my wife and I said, right, can you do it? And then the girl said, oh yeah, but if she does it, we've got to see her ID. I'm like, oh, I don't believe this. So, but she did have her ID on, suitable ID. So she had to pay for the drinks for me, even though she's younger. Only by a couple of years than me, but still, it's absolutely ridiculous. My age, having to show ID. I guess it's a compliment, but it is ridiculous. So yeah, all for the sake of some stupid bloody Mike's Hard Pink lemonade. Ludicrous. Pickups. First one up is for the PlayStation. Now, I don't actually know a great deal about this series. It's been knocking on a while. I did hear quite recently, maybe this is completely old news now, but I did hear that there's a new game coming out for the 360 PS3. At least I presume it's also for the 360, because it's kind of like a Sony branded thing. Anyway, let me show you what it is. It's Twisted Metal 2. A couple of cracks there on the CD, which you can probably see. But yeah, I was pleased to pick this up. This is only $1, so you can't complain about that. I guess you can't even work out the back, but I'll show you anyway. Get the world on fire, apparently. So yeah, now a friend of mine who I kind of met over here, it's like a friend of the family, really. They've got it on their PlayStation 3. They must have downloaded it from the network, PSN. And I played it for a bit. I didn't really like it, if I'm honest. But I thought, well, you know, the series is meant to be quite good. And for $1, come on. So I picked that up. And next up, now this is 50 cents. So you can tell straight away it's not going to be quality. Although it kind of is in a cheesy way. It reminds me, it's a TV program that reminds me of being a kid, I guess. It's for the original Xbox. It's Starsky and Hutch. Annoying stickers on the front. Why do people do that? But that'll come off easily. This actually looks bad. It looks bad. But I looked at it and I thought, well, it's another game for the Xbox. It's 50 cents again, you know? And it's Starsky and Hutch. Well, you can't go wrong. Alright, so there's 2 PlayStation 3 games and 1 360 one. Let's do the 2 PlayStation 3 games. Again, a bit of a familiar pattern. I'm picking these up because they're cheap. But again, really cheap. One was $4 and one was $2. This was $2, and I've got a bit of a mild interest, just because I'm a fan of sports in general. Although I know nothing in detail about this. It's a hockey game. It's NHL 2K7, so knocking on a bit now, you know, a few years old. But I don't mind, you know, playing a bit of hockey on video games and stuff. I don't know anything about the sport in reality. I used to play like field hockey, like on grass. That was great. But ice hockey, not really my thing, but I'll give it a try. I think I've got another ice hockey game there as well. I've never played it. And next up, this was $4. And this is, it's kind of like an RPG, as far as I'm aware, which in theory, as I always say, is kind of right up my street. But I don't know, in reality, I can't be bothered to get into them because I know they're just going to suck the life away from everyone who plays them. And I'm not sure I want to, you know, devote a lot of time to it. But at the same time, I like the idea of it. So we'll see. I do get the impression with me that I've just bought this for the sake of the collection rather than to play it. But I'd like to think at some stage I'll get into it and give it, you know, give it a fair crack of the whip. And that game is Folklore. So, again, if you really need to see the sides and the back. And like I say, I think it's a bit of an RPG. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to try that. And I hope it's going to be good. It was only cheap, as I keep saying. Next up, and last but not least for this particular video, is a game that wasn't cheap. I say it wasn't cheap, it's $40. It should have been $60, but I got it for $40. And it's a new release, you probably know what it is. It's for the 360, and it's Battlefield 3. Now, I'm a big Battlefield fan, big Bad Company fan, so it was a no-brainer. I was always going to get this. And so far I've played 6 hours, which is quite a lot, I guess, online, and I'm loving it. I think it's really, really good. I mean, I did enjoy the beta. It did have some glitches in, but I did enjoy it. And this is, yeah, it's good, you know. What can I say? I like how it comes also with, like, a multiplayer beta thing for the Mass Effect 3. Now, Mass Effect, you know, I've got to be honest. I'm not saying it's a bad game. The thing is, I've never played it. I know it's pretty shocking. It's meant to be great. Never played Mass Effect 1 or 2. But I will try out the beta. It's online for a laugh. Why not? But it did make me laugh, and this is a silly thing to point out. But obviously, I say obviously, I'm guessing it's the same over in the UK or wherever else you are. But it comes with 2 discs on the 360 version, unlike the PS3, which is 1. But, you know, I wanted to get it for the 360 because when it comes to online gaming, as I've said many times, I prefer generally to play on the 360. Single player, PS3 for me, usually. Again, generally speaking. But anyway, it comes with 2 CDs, or DVDs, whatever. Now, it just made me laugh how this disc here was the multiplayer, the first one you see, and disc 2, you might be able to read, is the campaign. And I just found that really interesting. It's kind of, I guess it's just indicative, isn't it, of modern gaming, where multiplayer is almost like the be-all and end-all, and the campaign is almost like an afterthought. You just wonder how long it's going to be before games, Battlefields, Call of Duties, don't even bother having a campaign at all. They just might have just a multiplayer, Call of Duty Online. I can see it coming because, if I'm honest, and I guess here's the ironic thing, I've not even touched this yet. So why am I complaining that this is disc 2? Because I've not even touched the campaign. I will eventually, but for me, I really bought this for the multiplayer. So it just goes to show you, I guess, that maybe that's the way gaming is heading. Wouldn't surprise me at all. But yeah, so what do I think of this? Yeah, I mean, if you like Battlefield, you're going to love it. It's that simple. A lot of people say, well, you know, you're either a Call of Duty man or you're a Battlefield fan. Well, for me, I'm both. I like the 360 version, or PS3, of Call of Duty and Battlefield. I like both games. You know, one is more strategic, i.e. this one. One is more arcadey, which is obviously Call of Duty. But there's room in the market for both. And I'm definitely a fan. And I will be buying Modern Warfare 3 when it comes out Tuesday? I think it's Tuesday. And that's also one I'll be getting on the 360. So yeah, I don't think I need to do a gameplay video, and quite frankly, I'm full of broken promises when I say I'm going to do a gameplay video. I always say I'm going to do it and then seldom do. So I'm probably not going to do one for this. But then again, is there any point? You know, everybody's doing a video for Battlefield 3. But yeah, it is fun. I am enjoying it. I went online the other night and actually played with a YouTuber just for a few games. Red Hoplite, that was Martin, if you're aware of him. And he's a good guy. And we just had a few games. I mean, my headset wasn't working. It's kind of, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It wasn't the day that I went to use it. But I could still play online, just wasn't talking. But I could hear them in the headset, through the TV. So that was funny. Yeah, good game, really like it. And I was going to say something else. That's it. Thank you very, very much for helping me, making me reach 800 subs. It's ridiculous, really, because, you know, the more I think about it, I think I'm on like 820 or something now, which is amazing. It's weird thinking about it, because I still and always... I mean, I guess I'll address this more, you know, if and when, he says, arrogantly, if and when I get to, like, you know, 1,000 or whatever. It could be a year away, who knows. But I'll touch upon this more then, but I'll briefly say it now, and that's... I always find it a bit weird, because I still think of myself as, like, a new YouTuber. I still think of myself as having someone, or being someone who's only got a few hundred subs, if that. And I just forget that I do have quite a lot, and it's weird. But I think without, and I don't mean this to sound arrogant, but I think it's kind of testament to myself, it sounds arrogant already, that I've never really changed. You know, if you watch my first few videos, I mean, I might have grown a bit in confidence, as we all do, because we get used to it. But essentially, I've always been the same. I've come on camera, I've showed my things, I've done a few unfunny wisecracks. I've just been natural, and I think that'll never change, and that's maybe what draws a lot of people to my channel. I guess it's just like kind of talking to a friend down the pub, as I've used that kind of analogy many times, and that's what I try and portray, and I'd like to think it comes across. So thank you very much. Thank you to everybody who has put me on their channel pages, and obviously don't take me off, you've got to keep me on there now, or anyone who's going to do it in the future. Thanks to people who've given me shout outs. There's been a lot of people. I don't want to name anyone, I'm not being rude. You'll know who you are if you put me on your channel page and all the rest of it. But the reason why I don't want to name them is because I haven't written them down. I'm going to forget some people, and then they might get offended, and I'd feel embarrassed. So, yeah, you know who you are. And in time, obviously, I'll thank everybody and all the rest of it. So, yeah, thank you very much. I'm just ranting. How long's this gone on for? About 10 minutes? That's not too bad. So, yeah, Modern Warfare 3, I'll be picking that up next week. I've got a few more things on the way for a new console, which is also on the way. I'll keep you in the dark about that one until it arrives. And then there's another console which I'm definitely going to get. Definitely. I've made my mind up. I used to have one back in the day, but I'm definitely going to get it again. And the thing with that one is it's pretty cheap-ish, but I'm thinking of waiting till the new year. You know, I don't want to buy everything at once. That's one of the things I'm going to do next year, New Year's resolution. You know, just try and really, if I'm going to be buying games and buying systems, play them, like them, enjoy them. Because what I have been doing, like a lot of us do, is we'll buy a game, and then 24 hours later we buy another one, and we don't get around to playing them, much like the majority of this stuff. So I'm really going to try and knock that on the head as best I can anyway. And very much, you know, the old adage of quality over quantity. So anyway, I'm sure there's something else, but if there was something else, I remembered. I've actually got a few more CDs down there, but that's another thing, audio music CDs. But that's, I think, another thing that I may start doing from 2012 onwards. You know, every 3 weeks, 2, 3, 4 weeks, wherever it may be, have a CD pickups. No games, just CDs. And if you want to watch it, great. If you don't want to, well, you don't have to. Same like anything else, I guess. But I do have a few, but I may show some before Christmas, because, you know, it is like a, you know, month and a half away, so it's a bit of a time to wait. But I may do that, I may not. But from 2012 onwards, I'm definitely, even though it's a gaming channel, I am definitely going to feature pickup videos for CDs. And hopefully you'll like it. And my taste is very eclectic. So be prepared. Be prepared to see some Jason Donovan, some Bros, some Take That, and then at the other end of the spectrum, some Pink Floyd, Beatles, Oasis, Blur, ABBA, whatever. Nirvana, Guns N' Roses, Pet Shop Boys. I'm just very eclectic. Something for everyone. Thanks for watching. See you later. Oh, and if you go anywhere, take your ID, just in case. See you later.